Welcome back to the studio. I am so glad that you're here. I have some good news, so I will share that. We have 6 paintings with their first underlayers. We can look at those and kind of where I see those going. I did some sketching outside and I'll give you some idea of what I'm looking at. So let's get going. Let's just be a catch up today, just a catch up. First, let's start with the good news. I had entered 2 paintings into a regional show, and I was in the show last year, and on the day of the deadline at the very last minute I photographed and submitted 2 pieces. I submitted this piece and I submitted this piece. These are both, I can pop them out, they're both on panels and they are obviously acrylic. This is landscape. The frames are, I bet these are maple. They're made by my husband, and so they will be attached to these frames. And ta-da! This painting called Little Golden Gate. Little Golden Gate. We have a bridge called the Little Golden Gate Bridge, which is like the very baby sister of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. This painting was accepted, so it'll be in the show in October. I think the show opens in November, but I will tell you more when that happens. But I'm so excited. I need to attach it, I need to sign it, I need to varnish it, but it is, it's going to be in the show. So that's good. That's great news. That's fun, isn't it? That's super fun. Also, it's a confidence builder because, this is a new way of working landscapes. And I'm sort of evolving into this kind of look. And so it is a confidence booster that I should keep going. So that's exciting. It's just so exciting. Let me show you the 6 pieces that I've been working on. These are all going to be underlayers for the next landscape series. These are all paintings of my own land where we live, but these are just the underlayers, and they've been so fun to do. So let me just show you. This will all, for the most part, be painted over, but you'll see bits. My hope is that bits and pieces will pop up, and I think I'm going to do one more layer over them. So this is just the first layer of the underlayer. Ooh, so because I really want rich layers underneath and lots of texture and lots of possibility for things to poke through. So here's the first one. Oh, and these are 12 by 12 cradle board from Dick Blick. They're called Art Pop, and I have loved them. I did gesso them with clear gesso before I painted on them, just so you know, like that's how I prepped them. But, maybe we'll put these over. Let's put these over here. I kind of really love them as paintings as they are, but really they are just meant to be the underlayers. And what's fun about these, because they're square, they're kind of sticking together, because they're square, when I do the actual paintings, who knows which way they'll actually go. So that's kind of fun, isn't it? It's kind of fun. And it's just been fun to work with these. This is my standard palette, so that's fun to see it all work together too. I've tended to do 2 at a time, just because that's kind of the space I have on my table. So that's been nice to bounce back between the 2. And yeah, this reminds me so much of like the 1980s with this like pops of green and teal and the hot pink. It's very, very 1980s to me. They all look a little bit different. This is the one we worked on in the last video together. I think we worked on it this way, but I also like it like this. So that's fun. That's really fun. And I really love this palette. I love the way that the color just, they work together, next to each other. It just really affirms why I use the palette I use. Oh, and for those that aren't familiar, if you're just starting to watch me paint or watch the projects I work on, this is the palette that I use. For the most part, I stay within this. I have a few colors that aren't in this palette, but for the most part, this is it. This is what I use. This is my standard palette. I just feel like this could be sort of like some, like, I don't know, new wave album cover, but it's going to be fun to paint over. I think it's going to be really fun, and just really came together really, really interesting, and I do really like it. And then this is the last one. And you can see where now I'm starting to build on some more neutral colors. This was a practice of that, to try to like build over with some neutral colors, and I do really like it. So I can see how when I'm doing the landscapes, you're still going to get like pops of color underneath depending how I lay the paint down. And so yeah, they're just going to be so great. And I have to say, this whole process, because if you watch the last video, it was, I just haven't been in my studio. I've had a lot on my mind and a lot of projects I'm working on. And so this was really great. I just had I would have two pieces kind of like this. And when I just had even just a little bit of time, I would come in and lay some color down. And it needs to dry, because you don't want it to be muddy. So that worked really well. It would just be up, and maybe between phone calls or in the evening, I would just do a little bit of color. And so working on these over time was a really great way for me to come back into the studio. So it's worked out really well. And I have 6 more of these, so I will probably keep those in rotation for this kind of work while I'm working on the actual landscape paintings. So to the landscapes, yesterday I went outside. I went outside to do a little sketching. Here we go. And there are different views just outside my window and outside my door. So this is the driveway. We have a big bush. There's some trees. Now, granted, there's a million trees, but I'm simplifying it because that's what I want to show, rather than just a solid block of green. And the ones with the asterisk are the ones I think I'm going to work out. So just here, I'm just working on composition, right? Here it is again, but I don't like the composition quite as much. And these were very fast. We're talking like 30 seconds, just trying to quickly get it. We have a power line cut that goes straight up the hill. And so this is trying to show that there's trees all along the side. Actually, there's trees all the way. And then there's mountains in the back. That's sort of the view up. And I did it again here. And I think I'm going to try to show it this way. So really focus on this bush, a tree, some trees on this side, and power lines. This might become too tricky, but I wanted to give it a shot. And obviously, I can always paint over it if I don't like it. But just trying to show that it's a very rural landscape experience, are these, power lines through the country. This is looking down the driveway, very similar to this, but a little bit closer in. And so I think that is another one that I may try. This was looking up at my house, so going way down below and then looking up at my house. And I tried that a couple of ways, didn't really love any of it. So keep working on that. We have a barn, it would be here, that's over 200 years old, and it's falling down. But I'm not showing the barn, but see, there's the house. And so my thought is to do this instead. So this is the driveway up, there's a bush here, we have giant oak trees, that's what those are, and then the house. And then these are grasses, and you can see how I quickly sketch those on the other side. So here's those tall grasses. And then we have bachelor buttons. I think that's what they're called. They're purple. And so I kind of got a look at what that would look like. Then I stood on my driveway and I looked down the drive from front. So I was at the power line and I looked down the driveway trying to get that. That is like a wall of trees. That's what it really looks like. This is looking up. So my house would be over here somewhere, looking up, and this is all grass. This is the road, trying to look at that. And we have a bunch of yellow flowers that are in the yard. And instead of this, I really like this view. So focus more on the yellow flowers. I'm not sure how I'm going to paint those yet, but it gave me the idea. This is a layer of grass. There's a little bit of mountain behind, sky, and focus on the two trees. So I think I got 6. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I have 5. I think I only got 5. So 5. And that's okay. We'll see, as I'm doing them, maybe one of these will inspire me, or maybe I'll try something different, right? But this process, the very quick composition thumbnails, is something that I did for the last paintings too. If you remember, like those paintings that I showed you, this. So this is this. And that really helped me while I was painting, just to get the composition right, to work on it in this fashion as opposed to right on the canvas or the board. So yeah, I love this. I love this. And I can't wait to take you along. There will be more as I'm painting them, but the next step will be more layers on these. More layers on these, and then we'll just paint over them. And I think, I also said I want to do still lifes. I think these 6 I'm going to, or at least 5, I'm going to do as landscapes. And then maybe the next set, we can work on some still life paintings. And so, yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun. I want to thank you for all the really nice comments. I shared about I haven't been feeling very well. It's been a rough year of just figuring out some health stuff. And so I'm fine, but your comments were so nice. And the way, you all said, just small, just get in there. Someone suggested that I have a go-to bag for art, especially when I have my knee surgery. So thank you. And just the kindness around it. I really appreciate it. Sometimes being an artist feels a little lonely. And so it's really nice to read the comments and I'd really take them to heart. I may not answer everyone just because of time right now, but I read every single one, and I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so whatever you're doing in your studio, remember, you're never wasting paint. And I'll see you next week.